Alright guys, welcome back. I've got a 2004 GMC, Savannah 3500 6.0 VIN-U that was dragged in here on a flatbed, which as we know is how you find most GMs. And it is from another shop. They didn't want to get involved, apparently. What I was told was that the car was eaten by possums. So I guess that's a story we're going to have to test to see how valid it is. But in any case, it's a no crank, no start. I know you guys don't like to be bored with stuff, so I'm not going to bore you with what I did so far. First thing I did was I grabbed my Bosch ADS 625 and I hooked up and I scanned it for codes. I looked at data just to see if there was anything in there that was of any help. Start circuit, remind you, anything like that. Which there really wasn't. There was nothing there that I saw that was out of whack. There were no codes. There were no codes that were valid to this. So at that point, I just stuck with basics. All right, and that's where I'm at. I'm at basics still. I'm not going to go crazy here with this thing and try to make a big deal out of what maybe not a lot. So what I did was I grabbed myself my trusty wiring diagram. This is the start circuit for the for this GMC, and I'll turn you guys around so I can show you what we're going to do and how we're going to check this. All right. Let's see if I can set this up so that somehow you guys can see what I want to show you. Hopefully. I should have pulled it. Well, actually, I can't pull it up on the Bosch because it's not going to work out here. I don't have internet. Okay, so let's start with basics here. This is the starting circuit. Okay, what do we need for this thing to crank? Because right now, as I'll show you, I'm going to put the key in here. And I turn the key on and the dash lights up, but nothing happens. It does not crank. So what do I have? I have a starter relay on this right here. This here is your coil for the starter relay. Okay, so this is what's going to create the magnetic field, as I've explained before. Close the switch inside on the contacts and connect these two leads, right? So what do we need? We need, here's your battery. Here's a fusible link. That's always a possibility, right, for a problem. That fusible link goes to ignition fuse, ignition A, fuse 49, 40 amp under the dash, under the hood. It's going to go to one side of the relay, one pin on the relay, which is going to be 30 because that's battery. All right, pin 30 on the relay is going to be battery. So that's constant. So I could go out there with my test light, I could check this, which I will, verify this is good. What else are we going to do? Well, we need power and ground on the coil side of this relay for this thing to start. We're going to have an ignition feed, which is this guy, and if you follow it back, it goes through your park neutral switch, another potential area for failure, right? And it goes to another fuse, ignition 1, fuse 23. Here's another fuse here, and it comes right from the ignition switch. So according to this, if you look here, when I turn the ignition switch to the run position, meaning key on, I should have ignition power at either 85 or 86 of the relay, okay? If I'm not sure which one because it's not marked, well, I'll just go and check both of them and I should have power on one. If I have power here and here, the next thing that I would have to check is what? Well, I have to check my ground control from the good old PCM. All right, so the PCM gets a message, and when you crank this, it gets a message to enable the starter. So if we lose this, maybe the possums ate it, we are not going to get this relay to turn on and start the vehicle, right? So the last thing obviously that we're going to check would be at the starter itself and make sure that we have power, because once this contact closes, we're going to have 12 volts coming out of here, and we're going to have 12 volts to the starter here, right? 12 volts. And then over here, if you guys can make that out, that little ground, which means that it's case grounded, right? This is the ground. And we're always going to check that as well. Okay, if we get to that point, we're going to check everything and make sure we have everything we need to start this thing. If we do, well, then we got a bad starter. If we don't, well, we're going to find it somewhere along the line here. But I'm going to make this easier. The relay is easy to get to, and I don't trust the fuse blocks under the dash, under the hood on these trucks, because they always rot out because they get water in them. So I'm going to go right there first at the relay, and I'm going to test there. So I'll take you with me. Alright, I got the cover off this thing, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my test light. I'm going to pull, it is 61, it's this guy. That looks promising. Well, we're not going to go by a visual here only, we're going to check. And I'm going to go and see if I have 30. That's 30. I should turn the key on. Let's see. So we've got, just looking at the relay here to see 85 and 86.
George, can you get me a bowl?
86 and 85. So let's see if that crusty is the problem. Nothing here. This guy. We do not have our ignition feed. All right. So what did I say? That originates at fuse 23 right here. All right. Keep dropping that. Fuse 23 is right here. It's one of these guys. It is this guy. Connection. Okay. Now let's pull that fuse. Make sure it is a blown fuse. It is. It's a blown fuse. This truck actually has one of the spare fuses left in the fuse box. You believe this? All right, let's do this. This thing is corroded to hell, but let's see anyway. Didn't pop the fuse when I put it in. That's good. It's one of these guys, and there's your feed. So now you have two. You have battery, and you have your ignition. This truck may actually run. What do you guys think of that relay? Think I should try it? I'm gonna try it. I've dealt with this shop before. I know what I'm up against. Let's see if it makes a difference. Let's see. Moment of truth. Come on, you can do it. Come on. Yeah, she runs, sort of. Check engine light is on. Let's see what that's about now. Let's see why the light's on. Maybe you'll get more out of this video than what I expected here. Let's find out. Hasn't blown the fuse yet. Now that is my concern. Of course, what took this fuse out? That's going to be my concern, right? What took the fuse out? Well, we don't know. Come on, Bosch. Come on, buddy, you can do it. Come on. Come on. There you go. Let's go to our recent vehicles. We're in here already for scanning codes, which we had none. Let's see if I set a code by accident, maybe. I don't think so. I shouldn't have, right? Or did I when I... No, I shouldn't have. Now let's see. Actually, it doesn't run too bad for a 6-liter with 237,000 miles on it. Surprised it runs at all, actually. Let's see. P44, I can't see. P449B, vent solenoid circuit. Wow. Now that's a surprise. That's a big surprise. Let's clear that. See if it comes right back. Probably will. Are we going to investigate this? Well, I'm going to call him first because I am not going to go any further than what he asked me to do, which was to get it to run. It does run. Wheel even turns. It's pretty cool. Chevy. Can't beat it. Like a rock. I'm going to throw him in the water. Alright, so it did reset the code right away. Alright, so we do have a circuit issue here for the vent solenoid. Again, we'll see what he wants to do, but I'm not going to check it without his approval, and he's probably not going to want to spend the money to fix something that doesn't really make a difference. So, let's see what happens. Alright guys, so with this van, we of course went to find out why this fuse was blowing and try to get it to create, recreate the problem. I couldn't film it, it was too difficult. I'm going to try to get a picture up here on the screen. I don't know how well it came out. I'm going to see if it comes out all right. But what I found was that I pulled a diagram. Let me just go through this with you real quick. I pulled a diagram and I marked out what the power circuit goes to. Okay, that fuse is engine 1, fuse 23, and I remember on these they used to chafe by the control arm. I checked it there. It's actually insulated. It's okay. There's no issues there. What I found, though, two things I want to show you. Actually, be very careful of diagrams, as I always tell you. This diagram is showing that it powers the ignition coils for for the fuel injectors for cylinders 1, 3, 6, and 7, and then it's showing the coils here 1, 3, 5, and 7. Now, this obviously doesn't make sense that it would be one part of one bank, 3 cylinders on one bank and then one on the other. And over here it shows 2, 4, 6, and 8. So it's showing 6 on both of these. This is obviously 5, okay? So I just marked these to show you guys. But just a little tip there. Be careful of diagrams, they'll screw you. But in any case, what I found, and I circled it here, is this is the neutral safety, the neutral position switch, neutral safety switch, whatever you want to call it. And that pink wire does power that, obviously, as I showed you in the other diagram. Okay, it does go right here. This is the neutral switch. There's your pink input. And when I went to that switch, there's a harness under there that is damaged on a bracket, on a hanger that's made out of steel. The insulation is all gone, and that wire is chafed and touching at times. And that is what blew the fuse. So I repaired that and got that all sorted out and situated and insulated and fixed, and that is it. The check engine light is going to stay on. We are not going to investigate the P0449 that's in here. So this truck runs nice now. That's it. He's done, and he'll be on his way. Now it's starting to pour. So I thought that I would just quickly go over this with you and show you what we had and what we did. Just full disclosure, right? In any case, I'm going to go back inside, get out of the rain, bring my tools in, and I have to go and play with another GM product that probably should have been junk 10 years ago. Maybe we'll film it. See you later.